to Beauty by Rena. It's been a while since I have done a makeup tutorial. I normally do my makeup tutorials on Instagram just because I don't really talk through them. I just do what I do, and it's like a quick 2-minute video, so I don't see the point in uploading a 2-minute video on YouTube. So if you want to check out some of my tutorials that I've done on eyeshadow, makeup, and eyebrows, everything of that nature, check out my IGTV on my Instagram page. Today I'm going to be showing you a little bit of how I do basically everything. People are always asking me like, how do I do my brows, how do I do my eyeshadow, how do I contour? So I'm going to give you guys a rundown. Today I'm going to try to make it as clear and concise as possible, because as I said on my IGTV videos, I don't really explain things. First things first, I always start on freshly washed skin, and I make sure that I put on a nice base. I always put on a good moisturizer just so that whatever I'm putting on top of my skin doesn't seep into my pores. Make sure you're also using non-comedogenic skincare. Your makeup tends to clog your pores, so if you use skincare that clogs your pores along with makeup that clogs your pores, it just is not a good thing. I'm going to start with a face primer, and I am just going to take a beauty sponge and just wipe it in there. For people with oilier skin, you can also set your primer in your oily areas. One thing I've started doing or adding into my makeup routine are these makeup elixirs. I got them from Versali. This is a Versali liquid powder. It works very similar to Becca or like milk of magnesia, the way that it dries. I just like to put a couple drops on my finger and then rub it in and press it into my oily areas. The reason why I'm not setting my primer is because I'm going in with this. If you see any flakiness or whiteness, it's literally just that primer that I put on. So one thing I like to use for my brows is brow soap, and it helps them lay down. You see the difference? So normally in like 90% of my brow tutorials, I use a brow pencil or a brow powder, but today I'm using a brow pomade. So I'm using this brush from Morphe. It's like an angled brush, but it's really thin and it's longer. Look at how tiny this one is, and look at how much bigger this one is. Before you judge me for this eyebrow, because I know it's looking super dark, when you put on the soap brows, it does make your product tend to be a little bit darker, so keep that in mind. I don't mind dark eyebrows, and I also tend to drag my eyebrows in closer together. Don't be afraid if your eyebrow comes out messy when you first do it, because the miracle of it all is concealer. I like to raise my eyebrows like this because, as you see, I have a lot of skin. When I lift my eyebrows up, it makes it easier to get up in that arch and give it like a nice defined situation. And I first start by defining a line at the tip underneath my brow, defining the shape on the bottom. And then I fill in my tail. As you can see, I'm doing strokes. I'm not pressing really heavily. And then I go above the brow and I create a defined top part as well. And then without putting any more product, I start to fill in the front. Your front of your eyebrow should not be as dark as the tail of your eyebrow. So here's my unibrow situation. Don't judge me for the state of my eyebrows right now. So now I'm going to take a brush and just brush it out. But the next step is like the magic of the brows. Basically, it is to conceal, and I'm using this matte concealer. This is my favorite go-to. Like ever since I started makeup, I've been using this. It's so amazing. I'm gonna go in with this flat brush, but if you see how like crisp it is, you don't have to go in with a flat brush. This is like a brush that I used to use. The bristles kind of got flared at the top, so I stopped using it because it doesn't give me as a precise of a line. The trick into getting a really crisp line is, like I said, getting a flat brush like this, loading it up with concealer, like really loading it up. I prefer to use cream because cream is less messy and you can control it how you want. When it comes to a liquid concealer, it gets a little bit more messy and it starts to cling to the eyebrow hairs. I do small strokes to make a perfect line. Since this is already straight, you don't have to do as much work. That's why I prefer this brush. I like to put the majority of the concealer right up underneath the brow. Then I take my brush and I drag it down to blend it in. I'm blending it down so that it doesn't look as harsh under the eyebrow. And the same with the top of the eyebrow. I do the same motion, you know, just short strokes. And when it comes to the end, the tip, I just drag my brush flat and clean it up and connect it to the line that I made underneath. But after that, I take this brush. This is my holy grail brush, and this one is a Morphe M173 brush. I use this to thoroughly blend everything else out. You guys see that? And I'm gonna take that brush and then just clean up this part. You see that too, right? Perfect fade. It's all you really need, and it's not connecting to the other one anymore. But the reason why I like to almost make them connect is because when I'm going to my other eyebrow, I can see the line where this one ends from here and then start it at the same point here, so that my eyebrows are going in the same direction, if that makes sense. We're gonna get into the dark marks. I don't have as many as I did before because I'm working on my skin, as you know, but we could always improve. So I like to take this. This is the Huda Beauty concealer. Now this has an orange undertone. I prefer to use concealers with an orange undertone instead of using orange concealers now, because what I've learned is that it blends way better. It's harder to cover up just pure orange than it is to cover something with the orange undertone. And the orange undertone basically cancels out the darkness of your dark spots, even under your eye. It is pigmented and it dries so quickly. It blends out like butter. I prefer a drying formula when it comes to spot correcting, because when you put foundation over it, it tends to move. So if it dries, it's less likely to shift when you apply your foundation over it. After I spot correct, I'm going to my eyes. I do my eyes first because of fallout. I do not like fallout. My holy grail, my go-to, is my Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow primer. I'm going to be using the Mauves by Julia. The reason why I'm using this palette is because they're all within the same color scheme. So when you're a newbie starting with eyeshadow, you want to make sure you have a color scheme. Every color you use is within the same color family so that it blends in evenly. I always start with the lightest and then I go to the darkest. I'm going to be starting with this one, and I'm going to put it in my crease. I'm going to use a really tapered brush. This blending brush is like heaven. I'm going to pat it and then tap it off. My trick is tap, do not sweep. So not like this, tap, and you go inside to out, outside to in. But you want most of your product on the outside anyway, so concentrate that here. So now I'm going to be using another blending brush. So if you want to get into eyeshadow, I suggest you have an array of different shapes, sizes, you know, crease cuts, density of blending brushes, because that's like the majority of, you know, doing eyeshadow. So I have this one that is kind of thinner, more compact. It's not as spread out. As you can see the difference between these two. This one also has a pointier shape. The more concentrated you get with your eyeshadows, the more concentrated you get with your blending brushes. So we're gonna go slightly under this color. Now I'm going to take the other brush with no more product and just blend it out. Now I can do the sweeping motions because I want to get rid of some of that product. With a more compact brush, I'm going to add this purple shade. And then I'm going to go back in with this one that you took these two colors with, this brush, and just blend it into the other one. I'm gonna go in with this one first. Now I'm just gonna take this brush, this Moda Pro brush. It is the BMX 466 shade brush. I like to use this because it is kind of fluffy. So instead of being more compact, it kind of blends the eyeshadow where I want it to. Now I'm going to take a regular flat brush and just go in with this beautiful color right here. It's so easy for me to do eyeliner. I just don't even know how to explain it, so I never really made a tutorial on it. It's the easiest thing for me to do, and it's really hard for me to explain. So that's why I've never made a tutorial on eyeliner. But I'm going to show you how I do it. I prefer liquid eyeliner. I like them with very fine tips because I like to go from very thin to very thick. So I just go put it here and I just slowly drag it and let the the tip do what it does, you know, like. Another question I get asked frequently that I do not know how to explain is how I do my lashes so quick. I either use white or black. I take my lash and my lash glue and I brush it along the top. If you let it get tacky, that's the best way to apply your lashes. If you're applying your lashes wet, it's not gonna work out for you. You take it, and I have a mirror. I tilt the mirror to where it's under my chin. So I look down and I place the lash from above. Boom. I'm gonna show you how to make a $10 foundation look like a $40 foundation. This is a Maybelline Matte Fit Me, and I'm going to take a brush and just brush it on. I like to do this so it gives me full coverage. Now I'm going to take a brush. My favorite brushes are compact brushes. Like this one. This is the Morphe M44444 brush. Another thing, the same way I do my eyeshadow, I do not sweep, I tap. Now I'm going to go in with my Urban Decay All Nighter. I go in with the foundation brush. I lift the concealer up so that it lifts my eyes up and it lifts my cheekbones up. My LA Girl Pro Conceal go down from the top of your ear. You want it to be a scoop instead of a line because you want your cheekbones are round. Nobody's cheekbones are just straight. Draw a line from here and then a triangle at the tip of my nose. And then I'm going to take a flat brush, a really compact brush. So I'm going to pat, never rub, always pat. I like to use an angled fluffy brush. Now it's time to set. I love setting. After concealer, setting is like my favorite part. I'm going to take a tiny beauty blender. You don't have to take a tiny one, but I'm just extra. And I'm just going to blend the creases out from underneath my eyes. I'm going to be taking my Becca Pink powder. Pink. I'm using pink because it's brightening. You can also use yellow, banana, or translucent powder. I don't really bake. I do leave it there a little longer though, but I like to blend in the powder. I really just like to let it sit underneath where my eye creases, but I blend it in everywhere else. After that, I go in with my Too Faced setting powder. I take a nice fluffy brush and I lightly set everywhere and I wash away all that powder. Now I'm going to go in with the Saharan Blush Volume 1. I'm just going to take this orangey color. I'm gonna go back in that Saharan blush palette. Tap. I'm using using the ColourPop Luster Dust and Hit Rewind. So this is the face. I'm gonna come back to you guys with a lip. I am back with an outfit change. I'm gonna go with my trusty NYX lip liner in the color brown. I'm gonna be rocking this pink. It's the NYX Candy Stick glowy lip color in the color Birthday Sprinkle. And that is the look, y'all. I gave you guys tips on how to do your eyeshadow, your foundation, cover up your hyperpigmentation, do your brows so that they nice and sleek and on fleek. Let me know if you guys have any other questions or anything else I can help you with. Leave them down in the comments below. Let me know what other tutorials you want to see. Like I stated, even though this tutorial is going to be on YouTube, all of my shorter, straight to the point videos are going to be on my IGTV and my Instagram page. So make sure you follow me at beauty.by.rena to see the rest of my content. Thank you all for subscribing. If you are not subscribed, make sure you do subscribe, like, comment, and join the beauties. You know, if you're a beauty, you make sure you subscribe to Beauty by Rena, okay? You can't be a beauty unless you subscribe to Beauty by Rena. So make sure you subscribe, okay? Like and definitely leave a comment. I love you guys.